upsize your creativity with the all-new, all-smart Innovus NQ1700E, only from your friends at Brother. Demo one at your Brother dealer today.
Hello, Brother Sewing and Crafting family. I'm Angela Wolf, Brother Brand Ambassador, and we are taking over the Brother Sewing and Crafting YouTube and Facebook pages today. And today, got two more fabulous educators that are going to show you some more new products. So this week is the week of the reveal. As you know, B2B was last week. Many of you said, please, can we get close-ups of this? So we thought, what would be better than a live show where you can see it and you can ask questions? So welcome, say hi, say where you're from. I see some of you rolling in already. And by the way, Shirley, I'm with you. It is storming like crazy out. So if for any reason we lose the internet, don't worry. We'll make sure that we get this show back. But if your screen goes black, just don't be worried. All right, so let's bring up, I got Jerry and Sara here. Welcome.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, I'm so excited for these new products. So yesterday they featured a few products and everyone was like, oh my gosh, how could there be more? Oh, there's more. You both are going to show us two fabulous machines today. And everyone that's joining, you can ask questions. What we'll do is we'll take little breaks for questions. So if you ask and I don't answer right away, it's just because we're going to, I don't want to interrupt them. But Jerry, what are you going to be showing today? What's the machine you're on? And then I'll ask you, Sara.
I'm going to be showing the new BQ2500. It's a sewing and quilting machine. So those of you who may have an embroidery machine, this is the perfect machine for you. It's portable enough to be transportable to classes. It's also large enough to be a studio machine. So it's really a great machine for those of you who want to finish those UFOs at home.
Oh, that's good. And everyone's going to say, is it a good one for travel?
Yep, absolutely it is. It's only 33 pounds, fits great in your luggage kit, which you may have, and you can transport that right to classes.
Awesome. So this is going to be exciting. And Sara, what machine are you going to be showing off today?
I'm showing the new NQ1700E. It's the midline embroidery only machine, and it's packed with high-end features. I'm really excited to show you guys some stuff.
I can't wait to see this. And you know, embroidery only, so many people say, oh gosh, I just wish I could just embroider on this machine and sew on a different one. Well, there's going to be a really good opportunity for you. So before we get rolling, Sara, I'll have you start. But just to remind everyone, there's a huge deal right now with Brother. As you know, whenever the new products come out, they always make something good for you. So there is 0% financing on purchases. You'll see there's two different options. I have it right below here. And depending on what you spend, you can just visit your Brother dealer, but it expires August 31st. So keep that in mind. And all of these machines, you can go visit your Brother dealer for. So just want to let you know. So Sara, why don't you take it away? Your studio looks beautiful. That machine just looks like a beautiful picture.
Thank you. Yeah, it fits great in my studio. Like you said, embroidery only is perfect for maybe adding another machine to your lineup, but it's great for beginners and advanced embroiderers alike because it's really easy to use, but it has a lot of high-end function. So to start off, I'll just say that it has 258 built-in embroidery designs. So that's 60. Wow. Yeah, so that's 60 new designs from the previous model, which is the NQ1600E. And it also has 13 lettering fonts, which is two new fonts from the previous model as well. So to start, I'm going to show you some samples that I made with the machine to really illustrate how much you can do with it.
Oh, we would love to see that.
Okay. So it's loaded with editing functions, and you can see there's a 5-inch color LCD touchscreen on the machine. I'm going to get in closer in a minute, but I just want to show you some samples first. So this sample is a little bunny lovey, little baby blanket, and I embroidered "Some Bunny Loves You" on it, and all of the editing of the text and the color of the text, all that was done right on this machine. So it's really powerful. You can create so many different designs with that, just your own editing.
That is so cute.
Yeah. And this machine comes with 2 hoops. So it comes with the 5x7 hoop. And it also comes with the 6x10 hoop. This is a really large embroidery size for this compact machine. It's super impressive. And you can get a lot of beautiful designs stitched out in this size hoop. So one of the samples that I made using the 6x10 hoop is this tea towel with some llamas on it. And I wrote "No problema" on the bottom. And this llama design comes loaded in the machine. It's one of the new designs. And the education team loves the llama designs that are in here. So I thought I would have some fun and stitch one out. And it's super cute. You can see the stitch quality is amazing. The machine cuts jump threads between color blocks for you. And it stitches up to 850 stitches per minute. So this was stitched out in 30 minutes.
Wow, that is beautiful. I love the no problema. That's cute.
Have fun with that one. And so if 258 designs is not enough for you, I have good news because this machine is wireless enabled. So that means a couple of different things. First of all, it will notify you when it's time for an update. So it's really good to keep your machines updated. It keeps them running smoothly. But we don't always have time, or we don't always remember to check for updates on the Brothers Solutions Center website. So this machine will now keep on top of it for you. And when it's connected to a wireless network, it will notify you when there's an update available. So then all you have to do is go to the website, download the update, and install it on your machine. And the other great thing about the wireless capability is that you can now transfer your embroidery design straight from your computer to your machine without a USB. It's an awesome function. I have so much fun using it because I love to create my own embroidery designs. So you can create designs with PE Design 11. You can buy designs from iBroidery, which has over 5,000 embroidery designs available. And you can transfer all of them wirelessly to your machine.
That is so, I love that. And I really like the feature. I don't know, Jerry, you probably would agree too. I love it when the machine just tells me it needs an update because I'm terrible at remembering to go look and download it and bring it over. That is, yay.
Yes, it's an awesome feature. So another sample that I have here is a marble design that I got off of iBroidery. And I transferred this wirelessly to my machine. I stitched it out and I made a little iron-on patch. Has some glue backing. So even though this machine doesn't come with Disney designs preloaded, you still have all of those available to you on iBroidery.com. You have Disney, Frozen, you have Star Wars, you have Marvel. So there's just endless opportunities of what you can stitch on this machine.
That's awesome. Everybody's saying, what machine is she on? I just put it onto the screen here. It's the NQ1700E.
Yes.
All right.
And another exciting product that Brother just launched is Design Database Transfer. So if you don't have PE Design 11, you can use Design Database Transfer, which is a free to download PC app. And it allows you to transfer any of your designs from your computer to your machine. It also comes loaded with a couple of free designs on it. So another little sample that I have is this little baby bib. And this little sun on here comes with Design Database Transfer. That's a little design that's free to use. Took 3 minutes to stitch out and made a cute little bib. So that program is so easy. It's like you can connect all of your wireless enabled Brother machines to the program. So I have my XP here in the background. I can transfer designs to my XP. I can transfer to my 1700E. It's an awesome program, super straightforward. You guys are gonna love that one for sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so what else do I have? Let's see. We have a new accessory. It's the magnetic flat frame. This is really exciting. This is a 5x7 frame. And right now I have a towel loaded in there. Let me show you how strong this is. I'm holding this just with one hand and it's not moving at all. These magnets are super strong. And it's called the flat frame because look at that. It like disappears when you turn it to the side. It's super flat. So this slides really easily right under your presser foot. And I'll show that to you guys in a bit. And even though the magnets are really strong, they're really easy to remove and just click back on. So I've actually never used a magnetic frame before. I was really excited to get this, and to be able to use it on a midline machine is really exciting. This will also work on your Brother flatbed machines all the way up the line. So this is a great accessory to have.
So did everyone hear that? It's not just for this machine, which is amazing, because I know when we had those magnetic hoops come out last year for the Luminaire and the 10 needle, people were like, oh, where's one for me? And now there is one for you. So as long as your machine can have that 5x7, and you can check with your Brother dealer what machines they'll go on. But this is great news.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's an awesome accessory. And that bunny lovey that I showed you guys, I hooped this in the magnetic frame. You can see how thick it is. It's not a very easy thing to hoop, but it was super easy to hoop with the magnetic frame, and it held it perfectly with multiple layers of stabilizer. It performs really well. It's great.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm going to switch to my machine so we can get a close-up.
Oh, that's what everybody's waiting. Let me see that screen. Oh, it looks fantastic.
So I'm going to show you how this frame loads in super easily. Get my towel under there. Okay, so one hand, I'm not touching the presser foot lever. It just slides super easily right under that presser foot. I'm going to load it in. And I'm going to show you some of the editing functions that we have to play with. Let me zoom in a little bit on the screen here. So I'm going to start in my machine's pocket, and I'm going to pull a design that I transferred wirelessly using Design Database Transfer to my machine. This is another one of the free designs that's available with Design Database Transfer. I'm going to set the design. And because we have such a big embroidery area to play with, I'm going to size this up as large as it will go. And then I'm going to add an initial. So I'm embroidering on the tea towel. I want to make it a little bit personalized. So I'm going to go in, and this is where those 13 embroidery fonts come in. So there you have all 13 of them. And today I'm going to use font number 4. And I'm going to choose the C, and I'm going to keep it large again to use the large embroidery area. So I'm going to set. And now this machine can zoom up to 300%. So this is really helpful when you're trying to align different parts of your embroidery design. And I don't know if you can see, let me get you a little bit closer. There's a dot grid that pops up when you zoom in at 300%. So that's really helpful when you're aligning. So I'm going to use that grid. I'm going to use the move function. And I'm just going to use those dots to make sure that everything lines up evenly. And then I can zoom back out to 100%. And it looks nice and aligned. So I press OK. And today I'm going to embroider with my Seacrest thread and my fresh green thread. So I can go right into the color palette here and use the arrows on the front of my machine to navigate through all the different thread colors that are available. And I have my C selected. I'm going to change that to Seacrest. And then using the thread plus and minus button, I can advance to the next part of my stitch out, which is the blue flowers up here. And I'm going to change those to be fresh green. And then I'm going to advance one more time to the wreath, and I'm going to change that to Seacrest. I'm going to press OK, and I'm going to go to End Edit. And now this machine, another high-end feature that it has is the color sort feature. So this, when you enable it, will group together all of the like thread colors you can see right here. So it eliminates unnecessary thread changes, and it just streamlines the whole stitch out process. It's a really great feature. Another feature I want to show you guys before we stitch this out is the trace function. This is really helpful in placing your design. So I have a pin in here. Not sure if you can see it or not. There's a pink pin right here, and that's the center of my tea towel. I measured that before I used it. So now I'm going to use this trace function to make sure that the design is going to land where I want it to on the tea towel. So right now I'm at the needle is positioned at the center of where the design is going to stitch out. And I can see that it's a little bit off from where the center pin is placed. So I'm going to say, okay, now I'm going to move it over until it's aligned with that pin. Okay. Then I go back to the trace function, and I'm going to see where the bottom of the design is going to stitch out. I can tell right away that I want it to be a little bit lower than that. So I'm going to press OK, and I'm going to move it down. And I'm going to go back, and now I'm going to move the needle to be at the top position. And that looks pretty good. Now to double check it, I can use the trace around button. And what this is going to do, the machine is now going to move around to each point of the design. And it just traces that area out so that I can see how big the design is going to be and where it's going to land on the T-towel. So that's a great feature. It gives you a really good visual to see where your design is going to stitch out.
That is an awesome feature. And for those that you can actually see when you were doing the tracing, you can see the little dots showing up right on your design. So in case you were like, I don't know where this is on the design, you can see it so easily. But Sarah, I have to say, while the camera is right there, the light underneath, inside the, like underneath the machine. Yeah, that's huge. And then I see another light over to the right of that.
It's really bright. You can see everything perfect out under here. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's I like light.
Yeah. Also, while we're looking at the machine at this angle, they kind of shaved down this this portion over here, so you have increased visibility to your project over here. So this part of the machine has been kind of, it's been reduced is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah,
so you can see perfectly to your project that you're working on. All right, so I'm going to load in my first thread color, and I'm going to show you how easy this machine is to thread. So right on the machine, there's the threading instructions printed for you. And then there's a little lever over here. And this is the advanced needle threading system. So when you press this lever down, boom, it threads the needle for you. So quick. It's great. It's the best feature. And then another high-end feature is the auto presser foot down. So right now you can see my presser foot is raised and my design is set and my start button is green. So what that means is that normally we would have to lower the presser foot before we can start our stitch out. But with the auto presser foot down function, we can leave it raised. We don't have to press any extra buttons. All we have to do is press start, and it lowers the presser foot for us and it starts stitching out.
Oh, that's
I don't know if you guys can hear that machine, but it's super quiet when it stitches.
It's super quiet, but I love that feature because I was looking, the foot is up and there should be the red button on there saying that you can't go yet.
Yeah, it's a great high-end feature this machine has.
So I know I have to hear from all of you watching. Just leave a comment below. What would you do without a needle threader in our machines? What did we do in the old days? I don't know. I mean, if I got to a machine that didn't have a needle threader, I don't know. I think it's such a great bonus to have. I don't have to pull my glasses out. I could just click it really fast. Just don't use metallic thread in that. That's all.
Yes. It's a great feature. Yeah, I definitely don't remember how to thread a needle without it. All right. Do we have any questions at this point?
Let's see. Jerry, could you sew without an automatic needle threader?
No, absolutely not. It has been such a brilliant. No more. Do we have to do what I call the lick and stick, trying to find that? It just. I mean, I wear glasses, so my eyesight is going little by little, and to have that automatic needle threader is just brilliant.
Yeah, cut it. Make sure you cut that thread just on a nice angle so you get that.
And I've tried all the tricks, where you lick your finger and then you put it behind the needle and it's supposed to magically suck the thread through. That doesn't work.
So true. Hey, Reen is on here. Nice to see you. She wants to know a little bit more about that app that you're talking about where you can transfer designs to your machine.
Sure. So that's called Design Database Transfer. And I do have a link for that. Can I share that with everyone, Angela?
Oh, absolutely. And also, some of you are asking what machine she's on, and I saw that Brother has been busy in the background with the comments, and they actually left a link in the comments if you want to get a direct link to this machine to get more details too. Okay, there's a few more questions about that app. Someone asked, Lisa said, get out the magnifier. Yep. Everyone says, no way. Oh, yep. Robin, she's going to trade in her machine with a needle threader, for a needle threader.
So I just sent the link to that app. And again, it's a free download. It works on PC. So not on Mac, but on any PC operated computer.
Okay.
And yeah, it's just, I mean, it's so easy. You just have to connect it. So your machine and your computer have to be on the same wireless network. And then you can connect any of your wirelessly enabled machines to the app. And then you just select the design that you want in your computer file and you send it over to your machine. It takes a second and it's so easy to use. I can't say enough positive things about it. I love it.
That's awesome. Delia wants to know, can that new frame that you were showing, that magnetic frame, can that be used on the Luminaire?
Yes, I believe it can be. There's going to be an update to be able to use that. So just keep your ears peeled for when that update is available, and then it should be able to be used with that machine.
Yeah, we were just talking about that too, that the update is not out yet. So just keep your ears tuned. As I'm talking to you all, I can actually see lightning behind me. And also I'm looking behind me, I see lightning and an arm coming out of my head. I definitely have to change my position here. So if there's a light, if you've got fireworks behind me, don't worry. We don't charge extra for that for the show. Okay. Marcia says, does this do a straight stitch?
This machine is embroidery only. So it only does embroidery. It does not sew.
There you go. Patty says, I'm not giving up my needle threader. Okay, Cindy
wants you, Patty.
Yeah. So can this app be used for all machines? You kind of answered that already, but I'll just bring it up again just because I think there's a few people that are a little confused on that.
Sure. So this app can be used for any machine that is wirelessly enabled. So any of your machines that can connect to the internet, this app can be used to send designs to any of those machines.
Okay, great. And you can also call your brother dealer too with some more questions of these as well. Okay. Oh, did you just give me she just gave me the link here. Oops. I will put the link in the comments here for you. Sorry, Sarah, I didn't realize it was going in the private side.
No worries.
I was like, where is it? Okay, so I'm putting this into it, and I'll just put my name after it so you know that Sarah just dropped this into the chat. It looks like it's coming from Brother So. Everyone's like, I don't see the link. Don't worry, I didn't either. Oh, this is excellent. So here's a good one from Caroline. Great to see you, by the way. Does both machine and computer need to be turned on together? I would assume so.
Yes, that's correct. The machine has to be turned on to connect to design database transfer and to transfer designs.
Right.
Yes.
So Leanne, not everybody has a Luminaire. No, but this is not the Luminaire. So you're in luck today. All right. I think that's, here, Patty has a question real quick, and then we'll go on to Jerry. Does it still work with USB sticks? That's a good question because not everybody's comfortable with the wireless and not everybody understands how to hook that into, not everybody has the wireless. They might just have their computer hooked up to a hotspot or something. So does it?
Yes, it does. It still has a slot for a USB stick. So if you don't want to go wireless, you don't have to.
Excellent. All right, you can keep your questions rolling in, but Jerry, why don't you show us what you have on your machine?
I'm so excited. I can't wait to tell you about this. Now, I don't want to tell people what to do with their money, but Sarah's machine, along with my machine, would be absolutely beautiful in your sewing space. Mine is a sewing and quilting only. Sarah's is an embroidery only. So what a magical combination those two would make. What's great about 1700 is you can use that huge hoop. So, with embroiderers, bigger is better. So that I love that machine. That's one of my favorite machines. My top favorite machine besides the Luminaire is the machine I'm going to show you. It's the BQ2500. It's one of 4 machines in our Quilt Club series. So Brother is really trying to target more on quilters and sewers. And again, remember I said this is a quilting and sewing machine. So it's not just for quilting. It also does sewing. So garment sewers, listen up, because I do a lot of that myself. I came from a costuming and garment background as well. I'm also heavily a quilter. Those of you who know me, that's my thing. Love to do embroidery. I'm also an embroiderer. So I've got the whole gamut. But this is great for home deck people, people who are doing quilting, people who are doing sewing. It is a beautiful machine, and I'm going to talk about the size of it because size matters. And the sewing space that you get is 65 square inches, so it's 5 inches tall by 11.25 inches from needle to the body of the machine. I will repeat, 11.25 inches from the needle to the body of the machine. If you, as a quilter or sewer, have never worked on a throat space like that, it will change your life. Trust me. It's not just for people who quilt, it's for people who piece as well. I do a lot of cosplay as well. I do a lot of couture sewing. I've made gowns, I've made wedding dresses. That's a lot of material to put through a machine. And when you have a throat space like this, it will change your life to be able to get all of that fabric through your machine very easily and quickly. It's brilliant. So the difference between this machine and the previous model, the 2450, there are 183, I say again, 183 new stitches. Once you have the updates, there are more features that are available as well. There's a new cosmetic, so it looks different than the previous model, but it has the same incredible functionality that you know and love. This machine has been on the Brother docket for a while, and there's a reason for that. It's brilliant. It works flawlessly. It is just an amazing machine. Also has a needle threader that we know and love. On my machine, it's a push button, so it's automatic, which I will show you. So why don't we go ahead and head over to the machine, and I'm going to show you some of the amazing features.
That sounds great. So while he's setting up that machine, I'm laughing about 11, that's 11 and a half inches. That's a huge area to be able to do that. And also I was laughing because I've been fishing a lot. So don't use the fisherman's ruler on that. Make sure you use the real ruler, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So here we are. Isn't it pretty? I love this machine.
Oh.
It is so awesome. Look at the size here. Look at the throat space, folks. That's incredible. Also, the new cosmetic, it comes out silver on my camera. I don't know why, but this new cosmetic is a beautiful pearl light blue. The screen size, 3.6 by 6 inches, so 7 inches diagonally. Huge screen, absolutely wonderful, great visual. And again, there's that throat space. And I have some added buttons up here. Here is what I call the magic button. This is the automatic needle threader. So I'm going to unthread my needle, and I'm going to push that button. Just rethread up here. I'm going to push that button. Automatically, my needle is threaded. So absolutely one of my favorite features. You'll notice a different foot that's on my machine. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But yeah, you've got your speed control. You have presser foot up, down. You have automatic thread cutting. You have needle up, down. Priority stitch for those of you who do a lot of, who need some sort of reinforcement stitch at the beginning. You have a reverse button and a stop-start button. So some people like to sew without the foot pedal. So you can easily do that on this machine as well. So let's go. Let me pull in just a little bit closer here. And I'm going to get into a quick little demo so I can show you how this works. So here we are at the machine. Now, you'll notice a foot that's a little bit different. This is this excites me. This is the brand new compact digital dual feed foot. Those of you who have Brother machines know the traditional Move It foot, which I have right here. Notice how much smaller this is. What's brilliant about the compact version is there is more height from the bottom of the foot to the bed of your machine. So those of you who work on these thicker things, and like I do, I work with a lot of upholstery fabrics in my quilts and things. So by the time I get all my quilt sandwich together, there's a lot of bulk there. Easily slides through underneath this foot. It's also thinner, so you'll see how thick this foot is. It is about 2/3 the size. So it's 2/3 thinner too. So it's not only smaller and compact, but it's also higher from the bottom of the foot to the bed of the machine. Also, with this machine comes a quilter's bundle. I do want to talk about that. You saw the wide table here that I have. This is 16 by 25 inches. Also comes, this machine will come with this new compact digital dual feed, but it will also come with 2 feet that I have here. You will have the stitch in the ditch foot, which is great for quilters, and you'll have an open toe foot. Now I'll hold it up just a little bit. You can see there's a little bit wider opening here. There is also a couching foot that is available. And I'm going to pull up a quick sample here. I'm going to go back to my other camera real quick.
You know, Jerry, this is the first time I've seen the new Move It foot next to the old Move It foot. It's like an SUV and
a Ferrari.
Yeah.
a Dodge Caravan and a Ferrari.
I mean, really. I mean, it's amazing in that extra space.
Yeah.
Yay. Yeah, I'm very excited.
It's incredible. Yeah. And just as a disclaimer, no offense to anyone who drives a Dodge Caravan. They're great. They're awesome. They're really good. But it is a huge difference between the two, a huge difference. There is an update that just came out today also that actually makes this foot and the traditional Move It foot that we know, it makes them a little bit quieter. So ask your dealer about that. Check your Brother website. Those of you who have a machine that uses this foot or the regular Move It foot, there is a new update that just came out today. So be looking for that on the Brother website. So here is a sample that I did. This is couching. So I used some chenille and I couched it on top of like a seersucker, like a white seersucker. That was using the couching foot on the Move It foot. So what's nice is you could just feed that yarn straight through the foot, and you could do, this was all done free motion, but you could do this with the Move It foot as well. So there's one thing. Also, something we haven't talked about is free motion quilting. That's my love. That's where my heart is at. Those of you who know me know that's my baby. I love to do free motion quilting, and this machine does it beautifully. I do almost all of my free motion on this machine. Here's a sample that I've done. This is on dancewear spandex, just to show you that this machine will easily do all these unusual kind of fabrics, and also like metallic threads beautifully. So this is kind of a sampler that I did for free motion. Another one that some of you may have seen is this one. This is a feather sample that I did. This is, again, using dancewear spandex. I wanted this to look like hammered metal. So there's another little teaser for you for free motion. But what I'm really excited about, I'm going to go back to my close-up, because I'm going to do
that was gorgeous, by the way. That did look like hammered metal.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun to do this. So let me do a quick little demo here, because I want to show you exactly what all of these features are. So in my settings, I have turned on the automatic height adjuster, or the AHA feature. What's nice about that is it will sense, the machine is automatically working and sensing all the time what thickness of fabric that you're working on, and it will set and reset automatically. So you can go from, as you're going to see, you can go from the thinnest fabric to the thickest fabric without having to touch anything. I also have on the presser foot auto up down and the press to trim feature. So I'm going to show you how all this works together. So I'll talk a little bit about the new compact digital dual feed. Unlike a traditional walking foot that only holds the fabric when the needle is in the down position, this foot is belt driven. And that belt is located right here, which means there is constant pressure, constant contact on the fabric that you're sewing. So all these slippery fabrics that we work with are now easy and a breeze. So I have here as an example a thick quilt sandwich, just for a sample. It's a top fabric, it's a high loft batting, and a backing. And I want to show you that I have not spray basted this at all. These are all just loose layers. But I want to show you how brilliantly this holds everything together. So let me go ahead and start stitching here. So the belt is feeding the fabric from the top, while the feed dogs are feeding from the bottom. It means these layers do not shift. This is great for quilters, but also helpful for garment sewers who want to match stripes and plaids, or when sewing stretchy or slippery fabrics. Now, those of us who do garments know that matching up plaids and stripes can be really a pain. I'm sure, Angela, you can attest to that as well. It can be a challenge.
Oh, that's a good word for it, a challenge.
Yes, but with the Move It foot, because there is that constant pressure, all of those layers are going to stay together. So where you place that striped and plaid fabric is where it's going to stay. So there's going to be no slipping at all. Now, if you notice, I've been able to turn this so easily because I have the pivot function, which is turned on. So the needle stays in the fabric, and I can turn in any sewing direction. So this foot is also great to use with decorative stitching as well. So I've chosen just a quick little feather stitch here. Now you can easily sew decorative patterns with the new Compact Digital Dual Feed. I love to use the decorative stitches to embellish my quilts, like for crazy quilts, things like that. Excuse me, or to finish my bindings. I also have been adding decorative stitching to my bindings, so it's another added design detail. So there's over 100 stitches to use with the Move It foot, including some with a forward and backward motion. Now try that with a traditional walking foot. I'm going backwards here, so again, try doing that. You cannot go backwards with a traditional walking foot. So this comes with this machine. So this foot does come with this machine. It provides better visibility. It's more clearance in the back, because if you notice how this bulky fabric is just sliding right underneath. So let me go back to a straight stitch real quick, and I want to show you how this foot will work. Now, this is not something you may not do in real time in the real world, but I'm going to go from this bulky quilt sandwich right onto a piece of organza. And notice I'm not even holding this fabric. Look how beautifully that feeds. And I'm going to go right to a heavy piece of denim. And I'm going to pleat the denim as well. So now I'm going through 3 layers. So the machine is constantly sensing and adjusting for the fabric in your project. Notice there is like no pulling, there's no tugging. It's almost like the machine is saying, really, that's all you got? Come on.
You know what else I noticed, Jerry? None of the fabric isn't getting stuck underneath the Move It foot, and you're using all that extra fabric. I saw Caroline on here said, yay, the fabric's not going to get stuck under there. That little clearance, that extra clearance they did is awesome.
It makes a huge difference. Now, all I'm going to do is touch the reverse sew button. And so I'm going to automatically get a tie off, and it will cut my thread. The foot will raise. And so here you go. So now you can see how beautifully that machine just stitched through all of those layers. Notice there wasn't any tugging, any pulling. So a combination of all these things makes sewing any fabric thickness a breeze.
Wow. That is amazing.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I love this new foot. I love the foot in general. I always have. I've always loved our Move It foot. For those of you who are quilters, if you have been having like piecing issues and you get frustrated because things are slipping around and you've tried maybe gluing your pieces together and sometimes you go outside the seam line, the glue goes outside the seam line, use the Move It foot. There is a 1/4 inch foot that you can get for that foot, and it will make piecing a breeze. So you'll be able to, and you can move that needle back and forth, so you can get that scant 1/4 inch if you want, but it just makes piecing a breeze.
Awesome. Everybody's saying, Jerry, love this. So there was a question, by the way. Well, first I'll go to Priscilla. She wanted to know, does the Move It foot have a 1/4 inch foot?
Yes, yeah, I just mentioned that. Yeah, for those of you who are quilters, yes. If you remember the stitch in the ditch foot that I saw you, it does have that same black guide, but it's now moved over to the right so that you get that 1/4 inch guide.
Yeah, Kelly says, hey, we need a Jerry trunk show soon.
I have a lot of trunks.
And Caroline, I'm with you. The fabric won't bunch under the foot.
No, not at all. And again, like I said, I do cosplay too. I've done commissioned cosplay. I've done commissions for Renaissance festivals. And so you're using really heavy layers through it. And this machine just plows through beautifully.
All right. So Raggedy Ann wants to know, that's a cute name, is the BQ3100 the top of the line for the sewing only for this?
In the Quilt Club series, it is. Yes, it is the top of the line in this series. So check with your dealer. Go ahead and check with the dealer. Make sure that they have one because they're really popular. But yes, grab it. Grab my machine, grab Sarah's machine, and you'll be all set.
The perfect sewing room. The perfect sewing room. Okay, do you stabilize those spandex fabrics with interfacing? I saw somebody ask this because that was such a gorgeous. That looked like hammered metal, by the way. Every time you pull something out like that, I'm like, whoa.
Well, Angela, you've known me for a while. I'm an out-of-the-box person. I do not follow rules. I'm a rule breaker. I use all the fabrics you're not supposed to use in your quilts. I use them all. I've even used aluminum foil. But yes, for that spandex, I use just a very sheer weight fusible interfacing just to take out all the stretch.
There you go. Anne wants to know, does it come with a couching foot or is that a separate accessory?
That's a separate accessory, but it is available for that. So it's got a little hole, a little plastic piece in the middle with a hole, and that's where you'll feed your yarn through. So
Excellent. Donna, hey, she says, hey, Jerry, she just ordered the BQ3100 and she's good. Excited to bring it home. Congratulations, Donna.
absolutely, you're going to have a ball with that machine.
The release date. You can call your brother dealer now, actually. There
Yeah,
you go.
absolutely. Yep.
Oh, Marcia, nice to see you. If you buy a new Move It foot, does it come with the additional feet or not?
Well, it comes with the Quilter's bundle right now. You will get 3 feet with this. You'll get the regular, like what we call the general sewing foot. You'll also get the open toe foot, and you'll get the stitch and the ditch foot. So that's a really great start. There are some optional feet that are available for it, like we talked about the 1/4 inch and the couching foot. But those 3 feet together are really great, and they all come packaged in the machine.
Definitely. All right, Deanna has a question. I'm not sure, would this work on a quilt frame?
Technically, yes, you can put it on like the Grace frame or the Brother frame. It will work on that. But this is really not quite made for that. You can put it on a frame to make it work, but the throat space is better for like free motion or something like that. So
Yeah, and then I see a couple questions on here. Let's see. Laurel is asking about a specific machine, but let's just talk about the new Move It foot for a minute, because there are older models that this will work on. So could you just give them a rundown of what to check on their machine if it will work with their machine?
absolutely. If you have a plug-in on the back of your machine that you used your regular Move It foot on, this will work. It will absolutely be compatible. So your dream machines, even your Stellaire XJ1, it'll work on those machines. Absolutely. So if you have a plug-in in the back and you were able to use the regular traditional Move It foot, this new version will work without any kind of updates or anything you have to do. It's just plug and play.
And, I think there's a lot of people that are really happy this year because there's so many new accessories that they can use on the machines that they purchased last year or the year before. That magnetic frame, oh my gosh, that's a mind. I'm very excited about that. All right.
Well, what's amazing about that frame too is you can customize. You can customize what's in your hoop, and you can make little adjustments moving a singular magnet. So with some of the traditional magnetic frames, you have to lift that it's one big magnet. And with this, you can customize. So you can adjust and you can move things around, whereas you really can't with a solid magnetic frame.
Sorry, did you hear it? I told you, you're getting a whole, we still have internet. The show is not over yet. Is the foot adjusting for the thickness of fabric, or is the machine? Okay, so Janice just wants a little bit more explanation, and she wants to know, does the foot fit the Luminaire? Yes, it does. I know the answer to that, but explain about how it's different than a walking foot. And I know that we've talked about this a lot, but I know there's new people that come on, and it's really, it's a cool foot. The machine tells what to do, but you want to take that, Jerry?
Yeah, you said it just right. The machine is telling the foot what to do. So once you have turned on the automatic height adjuster, the machine is constantly sensing for whatever thickness is underneath, and it's making those little micro adjustments for you. So again, that's why I was able to go from a thick quilt sandwich to a piece of organza to a thick piece of denim. So yeah, it's always sensing and always adjusting. So the machine is moving the foot. The machine is telling the foot what to do.
Definitely. I'm reading the comments. Liz says, I love these because I can learn so much. Carolyn wants to know, are the Move It foot and the new foot interchangeable as far as the feet that go on them?
Absolutely. Whatever feet you may have, fret not. Customers, do not be afraid. You can use them on the new compact digital dual feet. Absolutely.
Yeah. Chris wants to know, could you just mention the machine that Jerry's on is the BQ2500, Chris? Audrey, this is an interesting question. She's asking about, she has a Luminaire, which is like the best ever behind me. She wants to know, is there any features on this machine that the Luminaire 2 does not have?
Well, the Luminaire 2 is all the bells and whistles. It's everything that Brother has is thrown into one machine. Yeah. So this is sewing and quilting only. So there's no embroidery with this. So that would be the biggest difference.
All right, Mary. If you have the Luminaire, we all love that machine. I go pet mine every once in a while. I'm usually sewing on it, but I'll still walk by and pet that thing.
Do you have a name for your machine?
Do I? Yeah, Shirley.
Oh, nice.
I named it for my grandmother. So yeah, have you named yours?
I have not. I do not name my machines. I don't know why.
I only named that and then my dress form. I have to name my dress forms. What about you, Sarah? You named your machine?
I haven't. I'm super grateful for them, though. I always tell them how grateful I am.
All right. So Mary wants to know, do the extra feet on the older Move It work on the new one? And we just answered that. Yes, it does.
Yep, and vice versa. The ones that are on the compact, they're the same feet. So the one that works on the compact will work on the older version.
All right. Let's see. Storm seems to be done here. Thanks for sending it my way, Shirley. I can see it out there.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Now, I don't know if either of you know the answer to this, but I'll bring it up because I know you know a lot about some of the other machines. Is there a new, smaller magnetic hoop for the 10 needle? Do you know?
There is a new magnetic hoop for that. I'm not sure of the size, though.
Yeah.
I don't have a 10 needle, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I also
I'll look into that. To Marcia. And you know, Cindy Hogan, probably, she's always on that machine. You might want to send her a message. I know you know her, so. Everybody's saying, thank you for all this information. Oh, Carolyn Stell wants to know, does this machine have a laser?
This does not. You'd have to go to the 3100 for the laser and the sensor pen. So that's the difference between these two models.
And I believe you were on the show yesterday, Carolyn, so you saw that machine. So the one that yesterday had the laser. So that would be the one up from that.
Right.
Kelly wants to know, how's your dog doing?
Oh, they're asking about Hercules. Thank you. That just makes my heart sing. He's doing good. He's still an anxious mess, but we're working with a behavioral therapist and some medications to see if we can just kind of take the edge off his anxiety.
Oh gosh, your dog is so cute. Good thing he's not here right now. He'd be going crazy. Cindy, I knew you're like, boom. She's got the answer for us. There's a 4x4 and a 5x7 for the multi-needle. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Linda's asking price ranges. You have to call your brother dealer. I don't even know, but call your brother dealer. And they also have right now, as I mentioned, the 0% financing. And I'll put that little banner up here. So there's two options, 0% financing for 60 months or 72 months, depending on what you're purchasing. But also, if you call your brother dealer, they're putting bundles together. They're putting added things to the machine. I mean, there's always a few times a year that's like the best time to buy, you know, just like if you're buying other things, like when is a great time to buy a computer? Well, right now for the sewing is when all the new products come out, the dealers are ready to take orders, and they always have great offers. So just call them and they'll help you out there. Okay, let's see. So many great machines. Marcia, are you getting the storm that was here on Monday? No, Chicago's only 90 minutes from here. So I'm getting the storm that just left Chicago an hour ago. I had one on Monday too, though. Any other things you guys want to talk about for the machines that you think that the Brothers Sewing and Crafting team would want to know about? First of all, the one is embroidery only. The other one's sewing only. That's a big deal. And I think I've met so many people say, I didn't even know you could do that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a brilliant way. And a lot of people just have a sewing machine and they want to upgrade to an embroidery machine or add to their arsenal, I'll say. But they don't want to have a combo machine because they already have a sewing machine. Well, again, the machine that Sarah showed is brilliant for that. It'd be a perfect addition to your sewing room.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. All right, I think I got all the questions. I'm not sure. Shirley says she loves her Luminaire. Yes, yes, yes. This was such a great tutorial. Oh, I do know one, Sarah, that I didn't bring up for I should have, but it's up in these comments somewhere and I don't see it. That Problem Llama. Now I'm going to say it wrong. Could you just show that one more time? And someone wanted to know, was that built into the machine? I believe you said yes, but I just want to make sure. And someone said, could you show that one more time?
Sure. Yes, this is built into the machine.
Oh my gosh, that is so cute. You know, when you held it up the first time, the stitches are so dense on that. I almost thought it was an applique. That is so beautiful.
Yeah, it stitches out so beautifully, this machine. But yes, this is among a few llama designs that come on this machine. So
That's going to be the trend. I can see what all my new gifts are going to be. Problema. I need one of those. I actually need one of those too. I was showing everyone as I pulled up my cup. This used to say win. It had a WINN. And I think my dishwasher took off some of my vinyl. So now I'm just in. And then maybe next week I'll be I.
You're trendy. You're trendy now. I'm in.
Yes, I'm in. Is there anything new for the Stellaire this year? Carol wants to know.
Well, there's no, not really. They haven't really touched the Stellaire. That just came out, so there isn't too much for that.
Except for some of these accessories will work for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Oh, I see Shireen from South Africa again. Thanks for joining us again from around the world. This is awesome. So I think we got all the questions. So just to remind you, the 0% financing ends at the end of August. So you can call your brother dealer now if you don't know where your brother dealer is. Then you should go to Brother Sews. I'll bring that up here. And when you go in the Brother Sews, there's an area on the website where you can say find a dealer and you put in your zip code and it tells you where the closest one is. And if it's too far, give them a call. And I also want to bring up the websites. I have Sarah's up here too because Sara sells items on her website. I have my website down here, and I also have Brother Sews here, just so in case you're looking for us. And let's see, I know there's a delay, so I'm just making sure there aren't any last minute questions. Oh, you're welcome, Arnell. Some people are asking about other machine updates. Now we have another show tomorrow showing some more too. Ann says, what's next for Brother? Oh my.
We say the same thing, Ann, so don't worry.
I know. When you think like they couldn't possibly be better. Won't there be an update so we can use the new, will there be an update? Patty wants to know. Do you want to touch on that one more time, Sarah, about how that works? I know we don't know the date yet for some of these things, but.
Yeah, the magnetic frame, you will be able to use that up the line on all your flatbed embroidery machines. It will be compatible once there's an update for those machines.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And you can keep, oops, sorry. I did not mean to do that. I just like, whoop, that was like lightning on our own. There was one more question here. Is the Luminaire, Joe wants to know, is the Luminaire the top of the line? Yes.
Yep, it sure is.
That's the one that you've seen on a lot of the live shows where it has the projector, things like that. But that's not new this year. That was last year's. And if you do this year, by the way, with the Luminaire XP2 purchase, you'll get my class, the master class, which teaches you, it's about 14 chapters to teach you how to use it, to get you rolling. All right, I think top of the line, and does it automatically adjust sewing height? Yes, for the Luminaire.
Yeah, it does. Yep.
All right, I think that's it. And Jill, you can always message too. And if you're thinking about getting the Luminaire, be sure to go back and watch some of the previous shows here. If you're on Facebook, this is how it works. You can share this to your page to go watch it, and you can come back here anytime on the Brother Sewing and Crafting Facebook page. If you're on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And also be sure to tag Brother if you get a machine, show off what you're sewing. We love that. All right. Okay, one more question here. Oh, no, there's a few rolling in. USB, what is... I'm not sure what you mean, Caroline. You got to love spell check.
I'm going to go ahead and take a guess and say that she's asking if you can still use a USB stick on the machine, and you can. With the 1700E, there is an opening for the USB. So if you don't want to go wireless, you can still use your USB to transfer designs.
That was a good guess. I like that. Well, both of you, Sarah and Jerry, this has just been fantastic. I can't thank you enough, and everybody's saying thank you. This is such a great way to learn new products because they can get a chance to ask questions. And don't forget, if you're watching the replay, you can still ask questions in the comments because Brother's always paying attention, and we'll try to get back to you. So Jerry and Sarah, this is awesome. The rest of you watching, we thank you for taking an hour out of your day to see this. And tomorrow we have one more day. Let me just see what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Tomorrow we have Kathy Gandy and Cindy Hogan, and we're going to be looking at the NQ1700E and the SDX 330D. And a little hint from yesterday, the new rotary blade. I think that's coming on tomorrow. So thank you all for being here, Sara and Jerry. Have a wonderful day. Thanks so much.
Thank you, everyone.
And brother, thanks for letting us take over your pages. Until next time, happy sewing.
I'm afraid I have a confession to make. I'm actually here undercover. March, now. I came to Quilt Club to gain the knowledge and insight to help build the best collection of quilting machines Brother has made. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you I was undercover. Can you find it in your hearts to forgive me? Let's quilt.